Hey guys, Random Reviews here, and today I'm reviewing Prince of Persia, the graphic novel, and it has 4 names on the bottom. Jordan Mecner, who is actually involved in the computer game, the Xbox game, and I believe he was also involved in the production of the movie. Sina, LeUyen, Pham, and Alex Puvilland. Not sure exactly who came up with the storyline and who does the artwork, but one of those or all of them are involved in those. So the entire synopsis of the story is on a prophecy, which is: a palace must fall, a prince must rise from the waters, where none has known him save for a sad girl under a fig tree. And they have like a little bit of like a little saying at the front before the story starts. The following legends of princes and prophets, gardens and graves, water and fire will not be found in books of history. Any resemblances to real people, places, or events may be blamed on the vivid imagination of the reader. I like it. That's probably my favorite non-quote out of the entire book. They do have a map of the setting for the story, which is Marv and the surrounding areas, and they have, I don't really understand why, but they've got the map on both flaps. So there we have it. And the storyline goes between the 9th and the 13th century AD. In the 9th century, we are following a male protagonist named LeUyen, and there are also some other characters as well that are kind of main characters. They're more supporting though. The 13th century, we are following a female protagonist named Shirin, and what's interesting is the fact that they're going from a male's perspective to kind of into a female's perspective. I found that there really wasn't a definite main character in either of the settings, so I found that LeUyen was the one that we saw the most in the 9th, and Shirin was who I saw the most in the 13th century. This story has 190 pages in it, so it's not long. I actually read it in one sitting. And the graphics I found, so the artwork and the designs, I found they're not like the highest of qualities. Unfortunately, I was kind of expecting a little better graphics, to be completely honest. And the storyline, I found it very chopped. I found that it didn't flow well. I found that going from one century to the next, I had to really stop at times and go back a page or two and then see that they'd switched centuries again. And unfortunately, you shouldn't have to do that with books. It should flow very smoothly from one page to the next. And unfortunately, I didn't find that happened. I found it very choppy. It wasn't smooth going between the timelines, and unfortunately, it was confusing at points. I think some scenes probably made sense to the writer, but I found some scenes very confusing with why this was going on, and I found that they never really got into why that was going on. In one scene, something about taking the babies or the male heirs, and the guy rescues his son and he hides them away, but they don't really explain why they were killing these children at all. So unfortunately, I found it very confusing. That was just one of the scenes where it got kind of confusing with what was going on. There were a number of scenes that I found confusing. But you know what? I'm a big fan of the Sands of Time Xbox game, so it's not going to deter me from playing the game. It was just a disappointing read, I found. The highlight for me, though, was at the end they've got "Who is the Prince?" and it's an afterword by Jordan Mecner. And he writes about how the game got its start, where he got his ideas from, how the prince had changed from game to game, and the different characters. With this story, I was assuming it was probably going to be Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time or the computer game version, but unfortunately they decided, instead of taking the computer game prince, the Xbox prince, or the prince from the movie, that they would create a completely new prince and tell his story. And unfortunately, it just didn't work. So that's my review. Feel free to check the book out still. Like, I'm not saying it was a completely unsatisfying read. It was okay. It was confusing. I found it didn't really have an end to it. But definitely check it out. I love to hear you guys' perspectives. Everybody sees whatever they read different than the person before them. So definitely give it a try and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the book, if the way that you read it, if it made sense to you, if you liked it, if you didn't, if you had the same feelings on the story that I did, if you had different feelings that you liked it, something that I maybe missed in the story. So that's my review. Definitely go and give it a try anyway if you are a fan of Prince of Persia, and go pick up a random book and read. Bye guys.